It's the end of July. Today's the end of July. And tomorrow is August the 1st. Wow, this summer is really going by fast for me. I don't know how it is for you, but it's been really busy. I'm putting out my first video this week because I've just been swamped. But I'm glad to see you today. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me here at Much Ado About Something. I am out here getting done. I hit the ground running when I got up this morning. I took my shower and everything, and then I thought, well, I've got to get out here and get done a lot of things. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but it's been really hot. 101, 103, 105, 98, 98, 95. It's just been high temperatures. So the heat's been really, high. And we've had plenty of rain. We've had a lot of thunderstorms and a lot of rain. Donald emptied out the rain gauge because he had to clean it out. It was getting some stuff in there, like green stuff and everything, so he had to get in there and clean it out. But we had as much as 3.5 inches of rain at one time. And that's a good thing, because if it's going to be hot, you don't want it to be dry, because it would dry up everything out there. Everything is looking beautiful outside. I would do a garden tour, but my neighbor is having trees cut in her backyard, and it's extremely loud out there. Plus, we've had a few people walking around, they're salesmen, and I don't always open my door to those salesmen because I'm busy in here. I've got things I'm doing, and I don't have time to open the door. I think I'm going to go over there and just have a cup of tea. Today is Friday. It's laid back Friday, but I'm not going to be able to take it as easy today as I normally do because there's just so many things on the list that have to be done. Now, I have a whole list of things I wanted to share with you. I've got some updates on the front porch. I've got a few updates in the back. But I hadn't been able to share them with you because if it hadn't been 100 to 105 degrees outside, sweltering hot, it's been raining or thunderstorming. So I hadn't been able to share them with you. But we'll see what we can share today. I just wanted to come on and say hey to everybody, see how you're doing, letting you see that we're doing okay, and share some things with you. Now I'm sharing a cup of tea. I'm having a cup of tea this morning. I'm going to have the Harney & Sons English breakfast tea. I love this tea. The Chinese Keeman black tea, that's the only ingredient in this, and it is really good. And I'm still using my summer cups. I have not yet ventured into fall because it's not fall for me yet. Now, I will be celebrating summer all the way to the last day, and then in September, when it becomes fall, I'll go ahead and start decorating. Now, that don't mean I'm not setting aside some things. I'm already getting some things gathered, and I have my fall tote that I drag out every season. I drag out a tote for every season to decorate with, but I'm going to make the most of summer before I venture into fall. I've got my tea bag in here, my Harney & Sons tea bag for my English breakfast tea. Oh, my little string came off. That's okay. I never really use it anyway. Got my water ready to go. I'm going to let this steep for about 4 to 5 minutes. And then I'm going to enjoy this good cup of English breakfast tea this morning. Yeah, I have a whole list of things projects that I've got to do around the house. This table is one of them. Now, we sand this table down. We take off the old finish. We sand it down a little bit wherever it needs it, and then we put a new finish on it. And it's definitely time. The polyurethane that we put on top, we used the water-based the last time, and I don't think that it is as good. I don't think that water-based polyurethane lasts as long or is near as good. But this time we got the Easy Smooth application, our most durable clear protection. Minwax, I read that from the bottom up, the polyurethane. It's supposed to be their most durable clear protection, and that is what we are going to need on this table, because we use this table a lot. And it's easy process. It's just one of those projects where you have to sand lightly to smooth and remove any clear top coat, because we already do have a clear top coat on here. And we're going to put several coats on now. I usually don't have to stain it. You know, it seems like everybody's had a problem with the red stain. This is red oak. I'm not adverse to it. I like it. I've had it for a long time. This is our original family table that we bought when our kids were small. You can see this top coat is scratching. Now this is in the living room. This is not in our dining area, and we do a lot on this. The kids do art projects on here. I mean, it's just a busy area. It's a high used area. But this is a project. I've got to get this table sanded down. I usually take it outside to sand it, but we've had a lot of thunderstorms, so I don't know if I'll be able to get this thing outside or not. I may have to just put some drop cloths around and go ahead. My sander does have a little bag that catches sawdust, but you know, a lot of it still does escape. A lot of the sawdust when you're sanding will escape into the room, so it'd be a mess in here if I was sanding it in here, but I may have to do that. Just go ahead and knock this project out before it gets you know, lost in the shuffle. It's something that has to be done. I already got the polyurethane already ready to do it, so that's on the list to be done. There's several other projects that's on the list to be done, and things will be going so much smoother when I get those done. There's some shelves that need to be put up or built. There's just things that have to be done around here. But you know, we've been caught up in life. Life will catch you up, and then you won't be able to do some of those things that are needed. So I'm letting my tea steep and letting it cool off, and then I'm not sure. Today's laid back Friday. It's not going to be as laid back as it usually is because there's just a lot of things on the list to do, but I'm excited. I'm excited about every day. I'm thankful for every day. So blessed. God is so good to us, and so I'm thankful every day for the opportunity to get up and live my life. I hope that things are going well for you. I'm just so glad that you're here. You know, I love to do these vlogs, and I love to talk to you and read the comments. If you got anything to say, just read the comments. I mean, leave it in the comments, and I'll read them. Now, I've been looking at paint at Home Depot, and I just love to check out the paints occasionally. I like to just see what's out there. And then when I plan an area to be repainted, I've got a lot of knowledge behind me about what I like. Now, these are Glidden paints. These are red and oranges. I thought these were really pretty. And, you know, everything was white and gray. It's been white and gray for quite a while now. And there are many, many other colors that are coming into the picture. I love to get these and just look at the colors and use them when I'm thinking about things that I might need a change in. Here's whites. I mean, really, have you ever saw any whites as pretty as the whites are now? Now see, these are whites, but you can see the subtle differences in them, how pretty they are. I just like to get these, have them on hand, look through them, and think about it if I'm going to make changes. I don't always wait and make changes to something that I want to make changes to. I think about what needs to be updated and cleaned up. Now we've got kind of, let me show you. It's the Soul, but it's the Bear. It's the Bear paint. I usually buy a Bear. It's what we buy. But is it the Heavy Cream? Might be the Heavy Cream, but our walls have kind of a yellowish tint, and they've always had kind of a yellowish tint. Whenever I go, even if I use white, because we like warm colors. I like warm colors. So you can see this paint here in our hall is a yellowish tint. The light's not really picking it up. This is a puzzle that me and Donald put together. We went through a stage where we put together puzzles because he was going out of town, and I'd go out of town with him sometimes, and we would put together puzzles. And this is a puzzle that's been framed, and you can see it's got the sunflower seeds. I do love sunflowers. I do love a warm tint in the paint. I'm just not a cold tinted person. I say that, but the living room in here, we have kind of it's a robin's egg blue. I found a robin's egg out in the yard, and I took it and matched that paint to that robin's egg. And so in here inside in the living room is a robin's egg blue. So it's kind of a cool color, but not really. It's got warm base tones. I don't want to change the blue. I love it. It's classic. It's an English cottage color. So even if I repaint this in here, which everything needs repainting occasionally, and if you live in a house for a long time, you'll know that, even if you love the colors. Sonny's, he's just cozying up on the rail. I've got to spot clean the carpet again. He doesn't care. He's just like, okay, you just go right on ahead. Well, this part of the entranceway, the foyer or foyer, whatever you want to call it. We don't have a very big one, but we've got this one right here when you come in the door, and it's got that same pale yellow or soleil color. It's just kind of real light, like butter, and it looks good in the foyer because it's bright and it's welcoming and it's warm, and so I like it. And then of course on top you got that flat white that's on the ceiling on the top part, and this is not easy to paint up here. This is pretty high up, and I'm not good about heights. They never used to bother me, and my dad was just really good about helping us overcome any kind of fears that we had of insects or water or heights or anything. He just was really good about helping us overcome those fears. But as I've gotten older, and especially since I fell off of that ladder when I was getting my Christmas stuff down a couple of Christmases ago, and I just missed the bottom step of a step ladder, 4-foot step ladder, and just crashed into a dresser. I thought I broke my back against that dresser. I didn't. I just bruised myself, but ever since then, I'm just like not really wanting to get on the ladder. But I do get on the ladder to decorate this top part here. And as you can see, that's pretty high up. Now, Donald hung that. He changes the light bulbs in the chandelier. But you can see the buttery yellow color. It's not just like a bright sunny color. It's just warm and buttery, and it looks good. It looks good here in the foyer, and it looks good in the hall. It's all matching. Now that gate Donald built, it needs to be repainted. And I could really paint that any color. We could even paint it the color of the steps, and that would be fine. I've yet to clean the steps today, but I will get to them. But I love this part of the entrance to look like bright and welcoming. I've got these mirrors. I got this mirror on this, and then there's the mirror that is right here on the coat rack that Donald made, built onto the wall, which I really like. I really like that coat rack. We use it I will keep it because it's where I hang things when I come in the door, and it is just very valuable and useful to our family. So I will be keeping this coat rack and probably keep it white, but you could really paint it any color. You know, it's a beadboard, and then he's got a sturdy board right here. This sturdy board holds the hooks. I mean, you don't want anything flimsy here because I put, you know, some pretty heavy stuff. This is my backpack Donald bought me for my birthday, which I love it. And I've been using it for a purse, but it's pretty heavy. And then, of course, I've got shopping bags and different things that are here. I've got some bags that I use for Madeline. And then we've got our reusable shopping bags. Just the canvas totes that hang here. Right here, I use these canvas totes. And so that thing is useful and it's sturdy. He can put whatever he needs to hang there. And then, of course, I've got the hats, which I use in gardening. He uses them in gardening. And then we hang them back here. Some of them are for decorative, but a lot of them are for use, for protection. But there's some of the robin's eggs in there that brings the warmth into the foyer. So I like it to be like, kind of like an outdoors area, even though it's not, you know, it's the entrance into the house. I've got botanical prints. There's nest. Different things hanging here that go back to, you know, plant and outside, some bird things, bird related things, and flowers and different things in here. So, but you know, I am considering a different color for this foyer. I am thinking about what am I going to replace this color with if I needed to. I love the gold. You know, I had gold when everybody had silver, because gold is a classic. Don't ever let anybody tell you or make you think that gold is ever out of style. It is not. It is classic and beautiful. Now this frame is kind of a silver tint on this print, which I think is so pretty. It's a welcoming wreath. So I've got that in here. But it wouldn't be hard to find a good neutral color. I've got a lot of botanicals in here. And then I've got these boots. These are the kind of boots my dad wore to work every day. And I've got a sweet memory where we helped him. When he come in, he was very tired. He was a construction worker. And his boots, we would help him unlace his boots and pull them off for him. And sometimes they would be coated in red mud, or they would be coated in concrete. But he always was very neat. You know, we always had like newspaper or something underneath to catch all that dirt. He was not a messy man. He was a wonderful construction worker, and that's why I keep that picture. It's really sentimental. And then I have some botanicals that are this way. This is just, they've got a gold tint on this frame. And then there's, this one I think was really unique. I love the frame on this. That's one of the reasons I bought it. Now I need to clean these because, you know, they're right here in the foyer, and there's a lot that goes on in this foyer up and down these steps. People touch them. They catch dust that fall down. And I got a little hairy friend up here that sheds. And so sometimes, look at him. How sweet is that? Little sweet kitty face. But he likes to lay right here, and Cookie gets up here too. Cookie likes to jump up there in the morning when Daddy leaves to go to work. So he wants to jump there and get petted. So, but I was talking about this frame. Now this is a green tinted gold. And I just thought that frame was beautiful. I'm not sure how old this picture is, but so it has a feeling of being from the 1930s or somewhere in that time frame. But I just like the really pretty print of that. It's a little bird right here, and all those wild flowers. I just think it's pretty. Those little wild blueberries in there. And then this gold tinted green frame. And it's got some texture and patina on it, but that's what I've got there. On this gallery wall here in the foyer is warm colored frames. Now this one's gray. Whoever put that together chose a gray frame. Is cross stitch. That's a stitched picture right there. Somebody cross stitched that. I had one made for my sister too, because she liked mine when she visited here. But I've got a lot to clean up. This is like whenever we get groceries. This never used to happen, but it's happened as we've gotten older and as I've gotten more grandkids. You know, things are heavy. Cases of water and cases of drinks, and these are cases of garbage bags because I've got some outdoor cleanup I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to need these. And this is odor band. Home Depot had this on sale. I think I showed you that in my Home Depot shopping video. If I didn't, then I'll include it. I might not have posted that video yet. But anyway, these were on sale. Donald's going to take one to his mom's, and then I'm going to put one downstairs. But sometimes when we get in, we are rushed to do the next thing, or either it's I'm coming in by myself and it's all too heavy, so I'll just put it right here. Actually, Samuel got those out of the car for me, my oldest grandson. Oldest grandson. He got those out of the car for me and brought them in because they were kind of heavy. You know, by the time you go through the Sam's line or the Home Depot line and pick up all this heavy stuff and put it in your cart, put it in your car and get to your house, sometimes it's like a whole day's work. Me and my daughter was talking about that. It's just, you know, it can wear you out to if you buy in bulk. And so sometimes it just makes it right here. Now it just stops right here in this foyer. And then in the next few days, I'll get it all put where it needs to go. My dad would really have a fit if he was alive, because he didn't think you should ever put anything on the steps. It bothered him. All steps needed to be clean and clear at all times. But we're doing the best that we can do, right? Now, I've got a couple of projects that's coming up. I've got a couple of outdoor projects, and I've got a couple of indoor projects. Donald's already been doing outdoor projects right here. Now, this is his basket of tools and things that he's been using outside, touching up the house and caulking and just doing different things. And that's still sitting there because he is not finished. He'll probably finish that tomorrow. He's had it on his radar and his agenda to get it done, but he put that right there, and he'll be looking for that when he is finishing up some of the projects he's got to do outside. So we've got some things here that's projects. In fact, I need to make a list to make sure that we get done everything that's on that list. Oh, I didn't show you this little picture. I'm going to hang it down here. As you go up the step, when you come in and you go up, you know, there's a gallery wall right here, and it's got pictures and stuff. And normally we carry stuff up and down these steps, and these pictures are just fine right here on this gallery wall, right here on these steps. And I have to clean these steps every day, and they have not been cleaned today. But I am going to clean them probably after I get off of this video, because every day I have to clean these steps. But this is the gallery wall, and then I'm going to hang this down here. I just thought this was so pretty. And this is the kind of daylilies that grow so prolific around here. And I have these in my garden. We call them ditch lilies. But they're the daylilies. And I like this little can. It's not by anything. It's not a valuable print. It's just one of those things that I saw and like, oh, I like it. That's so fitting in my life You know, the watering can, I think I have a watering can just like that. Sometimes I plant plants in it, but somebody stuck those daylilies in there, didn't they? But I love the old wood of that window or whatever it's sitting in there, the rust and the little knob and different things. It just spoke to me like, hey, you know, I like this. I want to put this on the wall and live with it for a little while. And then the frame, it doesn't have glass, and that's okay. All of these, most of these have glass. Now this one, I'll talk a little bit more about some of these, but this right here, I'm going to put right down here. It's going to go right in this little spot right here near the steps, and it'll fit right in, especially when I get all this put up. Now this one, this is a really limited edition print by Glenda Turley. It's 715 of 2,500. It's a signed limited print. And this is, she did this or put this out in 1994. So this one's a really valuable print. It had limited edition sticker right here for years and years, and I didn't want to take that off, but eventually I did take that off. That is a nice and a really pretty print, and I just love the you know, a wreath symbolizes a lot of things. Life, the circle of life, longevity, welcome, and usually people put a wreath, you know, in their foyer, welcoming people in. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I do put a wreath on the back of that door. But I wanted that wreath picture here. I saw it at Habitat for Humanity, and it was priced really low. And I told them, I showed them, you need to price this higher. And it just didn't sell. And I was really surprised, but I'm glad it didn't sell because I think it was for me. And then my friend that works at Habitat for Humanity said, Donna, I will cut this way down for you. Just please take it and enjoy it. You seem to be the only one that appreciates it. And I am. I do appreciate it. I think it's beautiful. It's got the peaches, the grapes, the blackberries. Look at those blackberries. Little flowering plants. I mean, it is just truly beautiful. And Glenda Turley painted this. And she sold many of these prints. But I love it, and I was glad that I did. I went ahead and took that and said, yes, I'll put it in my foyer. Because it has the fruit. It could easily go in a dining room or a kitchen. But it also does well here in this foyer. So I've got that. And then I've got, of course, sticking with the botanical theme, I've got these beautiful flowers right here. I thought that was a pretty frame, and I just liked that. But I have to reel it in because there's a lot of beautiful things that could fit in a foyer that has a botanical theme to it. But, you know, there's always things in our house that remind us of our life and pay tribute to loved ones in our life. Now, I painted that little angel picture. I actually have these wings. My children found those for me when we were hiking. We used to hike all of the time. During the fall, summer, spring, we hiked many good trails, many good parks with good hiking trails around us, and we were always hiking. And they found me this wooden piece and said, look, Mom, this looks like an angel wing. And so I said, it does. And we kept it for a long time, and then they helped me find that, or they found that for me, and then I painted the angel, and it says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways, Psalm 91:11. And just I painted that little angel on a piece of wood, and we used the wing, and that's over our door. Now my door is very old. You can see somebody did a terrible job right here of painting. We've got some runs, so that'll have to be sanded down soon. Sanded down and repainted. I've got a harp that hangs on this door, so when you open the door, you'll know when the door is opened. And this just, been here for a while, and typical used door. I wanted to get a new front door, but Donald says, why? Let's just use this front door. It's okay. We'll just sand it down, repaint it, and it'll be perfectly okay. And I guess he's right. I thought about getting one of those that have the light, the window right here, the oval shaped window. And, I could consider that. But the thing about that is, wherever you've got a window, you've got a breach of security if somebody breaks that window. And these, of course, is just our sweet pictures, sweet memories. So we've got all of these right here. And then there's a little botanical print there. And then on down here, it's the same. It's botanical prints. Now, I love this one, and I've had it in the hall where the sunflower picture was, but for some reason it just faded into the background and you couldn't see it good. You couldn't see it good through, from the living room. It just looked dark and you couldn't really see. And this is a big print. This is my hand. This thing is big. And I love it. I love the content of it. And I like the colors. But I like the colors and the simplicity of it. I like the content. The red rusted drawer here. The old rusted picture. And then the bulbs and the moss. I like it. I like the content of it. But I put it down here because it showed up a little bit better on this color wall than the one that I had, than it did there in the hall. The hall was just too dark for it. So that's what inspired me to look at these the paint chips. That's what I'm trying to say. And here it says fan favorite colors. So let's look at this one. Let's see what those fan favorites are. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And you can see everything was real white and gray, light gray and white. And now everything is going a little darker. And that's usually how it goes. It usually goes from one extreme to the other. But I've been looking through these and just looking to see what it is that I really like. And this is Bear's color of the year. I love Bear paint, and I usually get Bear paint, but I don't stop. I'll look at any chips and come to the conclusion what I like, what I do like, and what I don't. That's their color of the year. I thought that was beautiful. I don't tend towards green. I love all colors, I really do. But I don't tend towards green. I tend towards blue. That's the color I want to live with the most. But I thought this green was beautiful. And my steps are green. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll get this green for the steps. And then I have a lighter version of that on the walls. And then this I have in the living room, but I mixed my blue myself from a robin's egg, from a piece of robin's egg. But I just looked at these colors and I thought, oh yeah, love them, love them, love them. And I love the color of the year, and I may use that on my steps, and I may not. But I thought that was so pretty. It's the name of it is Hidden Gem. And I got this sample from Home Depot. Color of the year, Hidden Gem. Really, really pretty. Beautiful in person. Dark, moody, but not too dark. Reflects the light, really lively, really good. Hidden gem. Really pretty. So, but if I don't choose to use that on the steps or somewhere, I'll just look around. But I mean, the whole thing about fashion, whether that be personal fashion, home fashion, or whatever it is it is a personal expression. It's a personal expression, and it feels creative, and it feels really good to me. And that's how I take it. It's never a chore, even though it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to change paint, especially if you've got as much on your walls as I have. You know, I am a maximalist, not a minimalist in any way. I'm a maximalist. I've got a small home. We've been here a long time. And I've got a lot of memories and a lot of things that are on my walls. And that's what I like to live with. So that's just my style. And creating, picking out colors, textures, prints, whatever it is that we put on the wall. To me, it's a creative expression. And it's like playing. It's like I'm spending the day playing. Now, I rarely have a lot of time to do it anymore. Madeline is she's having a hard day. So you'll hear her making a lot of noises. I'm trying to be patient and not get irritable with her. And bear with her hard day, so... You see this color, I think this was maybe last year's color of the year. A lot of people like that sage green. Yeah, but to me, picking out paints and decorating and doing all that, that's just, it's just like playing to me. It's something that I really love to do. This is delicate white. How bright and pretty is that if you need white? And these are the aqua and the sage greens. They kind of all go in the same family. And they really look good together, believe it or not. But I've just picked up a few colors that I was interested in. This is what we've got there in our hall and our foyer. But I enjoyed looking through all of the... Look at this one, ponytail. Butterscotch Bliss. But these are just interesting to look through. They pick me up when I'm planning. I love to plan. It's like coloring when you were a kid, or just, you know, it's just something I really enjoy. I've always enjoyed it. But I don't always have the time for it. To me, it takes a lot of energy to plan and where to put things, and to decorate, pick out textures and paints, and I'm extremely busy. You know, I've got a busy life, and I've got 6 grandkids that I love dearly, and I make a lot of time for. And you got to make time for the people that you love, and it just like there's not enough time in the day to do all the things that we want to do. But I really do enjoy the whole decorating, picking out colors, and I just focus not on trends, but on what I like. Now, I've showed y'all this before, but you see the blue little shelf that I've got all these blue and white pieces on, and then right beside of it is Donald's grandpa's antique cupboards that came from their basement. And you can see those cupboards are completely different colors. Well, the top one is kind of like a kind of a light green. I'm not sure what you would classify that as being. But see, the bottom one is this color. is an aqua blue. Now these are old. This is the original paint from the old city hospital. Well, the hospital's been torn down for decades, so these were in the hospital. It's what they stored medicine in. You can see the lock, the little hole where the lock used to be. You can just see the whole, you know. And of course we have this because that's sentimental to his grandpa. And, you know, when he was picking through the things, they all got to go and pick the things that they wanted out of their house. This is one of the things that he picked because he loved it. And they stored their canned food in it in their basement. He got them from an old city hospital auction. And he got, his grandpa did, and Donald wanted them. And they put their canned tomatoes and green beans and the things that they used it like a little pantry. So, we got it and put it in the living room. But it is glass, and it's not tempered glass. So this glass would break easy. It's just plain glass in here. And once we had our grandchildren toddling around and everything, we had to kind of protect them from this glass. So I've got a stack of books right here in front of this bottom one. You can't even see what I've got in here because of the books. But until they learn to be careful in the house, not throw things in the house and stuff like that, this will be covered. It has really pretty stuff in here too, but I've got it covered because I don't want them to break this glass and get hurt. It would be kind of a dangerous situation. Well, we're in Home Depot. We had to pick up a few things. This is what I've got. They've got a great deal on these. These were regularly $9.98. They're $3.99. So I got 3 of those. I needed some paint for our outside door, Rust-Oleum. I got that, semi-gloss protective enamel, and Husky contractor cleanup bags, and some more. Shark Oxy multiplier. This is a good tough stain and odor cleaner. Picking up that. Let me get me something to drink out of this drink thing right here. Looks like the only thing I can have is water. Donald's got him quite a bit up there. Let's see what he's got. You know, we use window units in our house. He's got one of those, a Quiet Comfort Smart Window Air Conditioner, 10,000 BTUs, cools up to 450 square feet. We need a new one of those in our playroom. And then he's got wood for the deck. This is a good place to get wood. He got Gatorade. And I got
some 2x12s to work on the stairs, make steps, you know.
Yeah, and then some screws and brackets.
Yeah.
But we have had a good time in here. We are usually not in the wood section. I am usually in the plant section towards the back. But that's not what we needed today. We got what we needed here. We could just stay in the Home Depot all day. Is your baby giving you big hugs? Look at them sitting up. Oh, they're such good kids. Yeah. Good job. I like the way they're sitting down and listening.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah. Very sweet. I'm glad you're having a better day. Oh, you getting big hugs?
Voice calling me paranoid. The word divorce slurring like poison.
Is he getting sugars?
Once, I thought
He looks as big as you.
Oh my gosh.
His head is really big.
by class after its
Maybe he
first
needs a
shot.
diet.
I rose before
Oh
Mark
my gosh, baby.
pulled on jeans and a
Oh
sweater
my
and
gosh, look
slipped
at
out.
you.
Across the street, the
He's
cafe
getting
was
so
quiet,
big.
half empty.
Well, thank you for joining me today, coming here around Much Ado About Something and hanging out with me while I was looking through my foyer and deciding on paint colors. That's no time soon. I'm not painting anytime soon. But thank you for coming and let me just share my thought process with you on that and joining me for a cup of tea. We'll be back before you know it with some good ideas and some good vlogs. Like always, until next time.